Is God not answering you? Is he not answering? Welcome to the Daily Devo. I am Vince Miller. So right now in our story, King Saul is, freaking out because God's not answering him. And this is what he decides to do. In verses 8 through 9, it reads, "So Saul disguised himself and put on other garments and went, he and 2 men with him, and they came to the woman by night," that is the necromancer or the medium. "And he said, 'Divine for me by a spirit, and bring up for me whomever I shall name to you.' The woman said to him, 'Surely you know what Saul has done, how he has cut off the mediums and the necromancers from the land. Why then are you laying a trap for my life to bring about my death?'" So Saul is working very, very hard to ignore God's silence. He's working hard to ignore God's silence. You see, Saul's issue wasn't that God wouldn't answer. It was that God's silence was the answer. Saul had spent years hardening his heart through disobedience. His life was a string of compromises, and now in desperation, he wants God to come through on his terms and his timeline. But God's silence was God's answer to Saul's unrepentant heart. Instead of addressing the core issue, which was his sin, Saul doubles down. He disguises himself and disobeys God again and seeks out a medium. He knew it was wrong. After all, he had banned all necromancers from the land. But Saul wanted what he wanted, even if the means of a medium meant disobeying God again. Isn't that how we act sometimes with God? When we don't get the answers we want or no answer at all, we kind of panic, don't we? We rush ahead trying to make things happen our way. But sometimes the silence is God's way of pointing us to the core issue. Our sin and disobedience. Often this is not the answer we want, but it is the one God wants. So if you're in a season where God seems silent, then ask yourself these 4 questions. Am I open to hearing his solution, or do I just want a quick solution? 2, am I seeking his will for my life, or just help for my immediate circumstances? 3, am I asking God to fix my situation or refine my soul? And number 4, am I ready to accept his plan? Or do I just want him to approve my plans? Ouch. Right. Hard questions. I love you guys. I pray this blesses you today, maybe in a fresh new way. Listen in the silence, seek God's answers and his answers alone. And with that, I hope to see you right back here again tomorrow.